Okay, let's begin today's lecture. So let's recap what we have already covered in the course proper. So we have already studied the formulation of the Schrodinger wave equation from the basic first principles. Okay, right. And after that, what did we do? We understood that all the phenomena related to solid state and devices, silicon and all that, or the VLSI circuits and devices, this is sufficient for our understanding. Okay, that means the time independent form. All right. Thereafter, we also studied the probability current density kind of thing, which is essentially giving us that if we want to find the probability of the existence of a particle in a particular region, then we will essentially be bothered about this factor A, isn't it? Mod of A square will essentially give us the probability of finding the electron in that particular region in space. Cool. But the probability current density essentially defines how much of those carriers which we have seen as this particular factor, how many of these, what fraction of these carriers will essentially be able to move. Okay, move in the sense because of some voltage, some electric field, some thermal gradient or something, those carriers will move. Okay, giving us the current. So that we have already covered. So if you notice clearly in the previous lecture, we have seen that psi square, remember psi is the wave function. So psi will always have a form like that, isn't it? So if psi is like that, so mod of psi is basically A, because this is essentially an exponential of an imaginary part. So this is essentially the phase. So the amplitude of psi is A. So mod of psi square is simply A square. All right. So you will essentially have mod of psi square is basically A square, although I will erase it because this is just for your understanding purpose. So this is A square H cross K by M. So understand that this A square part is nothing other than the probability that the carriers will be available. Note, available. But that doesn't mean that available carriers doesn't mean that you will have a current for. Let us take the example of a capacitor. Okay? So a capacitor is like this. Okay, lot of carriers are here. But they are not available for movement. They are not giving you any current, right? Similarly, being sure that there are carriers available doesn't mean that they will be free to move and give you current. So what fraction of this A square will be essentially be able to give you the current is the factor H cross K by M. Okay, so that is the whole point of the probability current density. Okay, so with that in mind, now we will start applying whatever we have learned until now for practical situations. Okay. One of the practical situation, the first practical situation that we will understand today in today's lecture is the free particle. Okay. Now, some of you were asking about the lecture notes. So what I shall do is, the video lectures are anyway getting uploaded. You can watch it on YouTube. Once I finish off the entire part of quantum mechanics, probably another 2 or 3 lectures, we will finish off this quantum mechanics part. So after that, I will upload this entire class notes as a PDF. Okay, so that it will become easier for you to go through one after another. I will not upload the lecture notes as specific topics, but specific classes, but I shall do it for a specific topic. So the first lecture note will be like PMMD quantum mechanics. The second one will be statistical mechanics. Okay, like that. So similarly, you will have one only on PN junction. The other material will be on MOSFET. Other material will be like, so topic wise, not class wise. The lecture wise things, you will find it on the YouTube videos. Okay, let's begin. So, and I need to finish this off so that after today's lecture, I will tell you your first laboratory assignment. Okay. Now, for the application of Schrodinger equation, the first topic we will encounter is this free particle. Okay, Now, let us understand the meaning of the concept of free particle. Now, in case of a free particle, in fact, in classical physics, whenever we say that a particle or a body or someone is free, free means essentially it is not under the influence of any other force, or it is not under the field of any other force. Okay. So, for example, a typical example which will make things clearer for you. Suppose you have a charge plus Q over here. Okay. And then you have let us say one minus q charge somewhere, not minus q, let us say plus q, it will make things easier to understand. Some smaller charge plus q somewhere else. Okay. Now, when we say that in the vicinity of this plus q charge, what is the potential at this point? How do you define it? We say that if we consider, okay, if we consider a straight line distance from plus q to smaller plus q, then what we will say is that it is the work done forcibly. Notice it is forcibly. Why it is forcibly? Because it is plus and plus. So it is essentially repulsive, right? So the work done to bring this plus q all the way from infinity to the point which is r distance away. Okay, so what is the distance over here? That is towards infinity. Now the point is, so the work done to bring what is the potential instead of plus q? If I just write here plus 1 coulomb. So if we can say that, okay, it is the work done, the potential at a point distant r from plus q is defined as the work done to bring a unit positive charge from infinity to that point. Okay, तो ये infinity क्यों बता रहे हैं हम लोग? Anybody? Can you please switch on your microphone and answer? Basic fundamental question.
From the point where there is no other external force.
Exactly. Why are we saying that? Notice that the electrostatic force is essentially given by 1 pi 4 pi, sorry, 4 pi epsilon. If it is free space, we'll put one epsilon naught. Anyway, that's not so important. Plus q into minus q, plus q into small q. Instead of small q, I'll put this 1 over here, divided by r square. Okay. So as your friend had rightly said, so if we are putting f infinity, that essentially becomes infinity square, that becomes 0. Essentially meaning that if we are referring to a particle which is at infinity, that means the forces applicable on that particle is 0. Okay, this is the force. Now, if you are doing a work done, so F into R dr, you are doing the work done against it. So you are essentially going to do this. This is going to be your work done. So from infinity to that point. So minus 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. I'll generalize into epsilon, not epsilon naught, dr by r square. Okay, infinity to that point. Okay, why is it minus? Because the force is being applied against the direction of the radial direction. So remember, this is a vector, this is a vector. So I have to also consider the direction. So in fact, I could have written this as infinity to that point with f vector dr vector. So since these are opposite directions, so this is the radially outward direction, the force you are applying from infinity to that point. So infinity to that point means you are going against the direction of r. Okay. So the radial distance is radially outwards. The movement you are making is from infinity to r. That means radially inwards. So that is the reason why in the vector you are not going to put one negative sign. When you are removing that vector sign, you are going to put a negative because of 180-degree phase shift. Okay, excellent. So if you are doing this, clearly you will get q by 4 pi epsilon r. So if you recall, this is nothing but the potential phi as a function of r. All right. So now the point is, this is basically +2 level physics. I mean, there is nothing new about it. So again, if you notice, phi infinity is also going to be 0 because r is in the denominator. Clear? Huh? So whenever we are speaking about infinity, that means it is away from any other uh, forces. So whenever we are speaking about a free particle is means that it is under infinity. Infinity with respect to, so this is basically the electrostatics which we have studied in our Resnick Halliday, H.C. Verma, that standard. So now when we are in engineering, free particle means the particle is free of any kind of potential variation. Okay, so that is the reason why I have written here Vx equal to 0. Notice Vx equal to 0 यहाँ पर कहाँ होगा? At infinity only. है ना? Okay, so that means the potential variation for the particle is 0. So here I have put Vx equal to 0 throughout the particle trajectory. यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? From infinity to r अगर हम लेके आ रहे हैं ना, so gradually that potential will increase, है ना? So we are speaking about a situation where the particle is not subjected to any potential variation at all. In that case, what will be the expression for the Schrodinger equation, time dependent Schrodinger equation? Time independent from a Schrodinger equation, there is one Vx here. That Vx will be 0. Simple, as simple as that. So 2 d2 psi dx square plus twice m by h cross square e psi, because Vx is 0. That's exactly what I wrote. Very simple. Then just solve it. This is again BTech mathematics. So now this K has got some certain very important significance, which we will learn when we do the solid state later on. As of now, you can call it as the wave number. Quantum mechanics people will say wave number, but as solid state people, like we are all electronic devices, electronic circuits engineers, right? So we deal with, our concern is solid state. So whatever quantum mechanics we are learning right now, these are also concerning solid state only. Okay, so solid state ke hisab se this K becomes something more important. Okay, we will just look into that. That concerns something called reciprocal lattice. We will look into it later. Okay, after a few classes. That is the transition between quantum mechanics to solid state. वो हम बाद में देखेंगे. As of now, think of K as a factor. This simply that's twice me by h cross square को हम यहाँ पर represent कर रहे हैं. You can essentially, since it is how you represent, let me just put it as an equivalent thing. This is how it is defined. Okay. Then basically the solution is known to all of us. Notice one thing. It is essentially a combination of sinusoidal curves, as simple as that. Now let's get back over here. So that means if the particle, but whenever we are saying Vx equal to 0, in solid state material, it is never going to happen. This is ideal case. Okay, but in reality, in solid state, Vx will never be 0. All we can say is that the energy of the particle, if the particle is flowing over here, so this is the value of the particle energy, we will call it E. This E is much larger than this Vx. Okay, so that means whenever we call it as a free particle, that means the energy of the particle is much larger than Vx. Okay, that is our concern over here. If Vx equal to 0 is an ideal case, it will never happen. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But we will use this as an approximation for our modeling purposes, for our understanding. Okay, so what we understood, that if the energy of the particle is much larger than the potential barriers, it is going to be like a free particle. That means it is like a perfect wave, sine kx, cos kx. Okay, now this relation, if you notice, we said that k square is equal to twice me by h cross square, this one. So that will essentially give you this kind of a curve. So if we want to plot this, what will be the nature of this curve? If you notice, this is going to be a parabola. Okay, isn't it? It's very simple. So this is your E going up. This is your K going on the right hand side. So EK diagram, this is also called the EK diagram, and this relation is a very important one. This is called the dispersion relation. Okay, you don't have to know this as a device engineer, but in solid state physics, people are actually very much interested in this dispersion relation. Now, so this part is very clear. So if it is a free particle, energy varies as the square of this k square of this k. Okay, so this is not a vector. I should write it here. Okay, this is not a vector. This is, yeah. Yes,
No, sir.
Swagat.
Yeah,
Yes,
sir. K is equal to root 2m e by h square or h.
H. Sorry, H
Yeah.
cross.
Thank
It is basically this whole factor.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. So now what I'm suggesting is, so once we have this is one relation, this red is for the free particle. Now things will become complicated the moment we find a barrier. ये जो है, अगर barrier नहीं है तो, या अगर barrier है भी, energy of the particle is much larger than the barrier, then so that we can ignore the barrier with respect to the particle energy. ठीक है? So this red color is for free particle. All right. Now let us come to the major issues now. This is going to be your first assignment. Now let us consider the situation where there is a larger rectangular potential step, meaning this particle is going like that. So let me just select this. The second application here. However, after some time, there is a potential barrier which is much larger. So this is suppose V0 is much larger than E. So in this case, we can say E is much larger than V over here, or let us say simply that V is 0. Vx less than 0 is 0. So this is x equal to 0. And over here, Vx greater than 0 is equal to V naught greater than E. समझ में आ रहा है? Then we want to apply Schrodinger equation, and we want to see how does the particle behave in this. Okay. Now comes the main contributions of quantum mechanics. अब ध्यान से समझना. This is going to be totally contradictory to your day-to-day experience. In the last few lectures, I have explained, right? The world as we perceive is basically dependent on the truth as we define it. So अगर किसी ने कह दिया मैं दीवार पे, suppose this is a दीवार, so this is basically the barrier, and you simply throw a ball, क्या होगा? It will simply bounce back. The height of the ball will go on reducing because energy is lost in the energy is scattered during every bounce. Now there is no probability that the ball will ever get inside the wall because the wall is opaque with respect to the ball, with respect to our perception of the reality. Okay. Now the moment you are in the domain of electrons, remember this E is basically the particle, that is the quantum particle. अगर quantum particle की बात करते हैं ना, then this wall is not a barrier. Barrier means opaque. Opaque होने के लिए क्या condition है? We will learn once we have understood this general case. Opaque होने के लिए क्या करना है? This V naught has to be much larger than E. We will look into that. So in the limit that V naught is tending towards infinity, then this becomes opaque. Then the electrons will bounce back. We will look into that after we finish this discussion. So as of now, let us assume that V naught is greater than E, but it is not like infinity or something. Okay. So first वाला condition क्या था? This was the first case when limit E was tending towards infinity, or E was much larger than Vx. Okay. In this case, if the case is reverse, if Vx is much larger than E, that we will consider later, that is called the infinite potential well. or infinite barrier. We will look into that after some time. So in this case, what we will observe is that there is a finite probability that the electrons will tunnel through it. वो वाला हम जो अभी statement बता रहे हैं ना, like I am explaining that okay, there is a finite probability, there is a possibility that the electrons will even go inside that barrier. कैसे? ऐसे बोल दिया आप मान लोगे? We will do the modeling of that. So come back over here. So this is the situation when Vx is 0, when x is less than 0. The same thing which I wrote here, basically. Okay, this and this. Okay, so Vx is equal to 0 when x is less than 0. Vx is equal to V0 when x is greater than or equal to 0. The important thing is this: E is less than V0. That is the reason why we are calling it larger rectangular potential step. Remember, V0 is a potential value, right? So potential step, देखो एक सीढ़ी की तरह, okay, it is a step function. So V0 is a potential step function and rectangular, obviously. We can make it something else, triangular potentials and all that. That will simply make the calculations more complicated. Other than that, the physics remains the same. So now, within the region 1, where x is less than 0, and region 2 is where x is greater than 0. So when it is x is less than 1, देखो, there is the sign wave is coming like that, and so within region 1 it is like a free particle. Free particle में हमने क्या देखा था कि Vx is equal to 0. तो अगर यहाँ पर region 1 में तो Vx 0 ही है ना? So the particle will behave like a free particle. So that's why instead of sine and cos, we have taken this e to the power ikx and e to the power of minus ikx form. Now, if you are looking at the phase advance and phase reversal, so यहाँ पर plus ik1x is going towards this positive x direction, minus ik1x is going towards the negative x direction. As simple as that. तो यहाँ पर हमने क्या लिखे हैं? अगर psi1, the wave function in the region 1, if it is a and b, the combination, then it will become, this will be plus, the other one will be minus. Simple. So what is this? E to the power of plus ik1x going towards the plus x direction, minus ik1x going to the minus x direction. Okay? So the amplitude for the incident wave will be a, the reflected wave will be b. Okay? Now, in region 2 के लिए मैंने यहाँ पर लिखा है, लेकिन one thing you have to keep in mind, the equation was initially E minus V0, but since V0 is larger than E, I'll try to keep this K1, K2 as positive. Okay, because we will see these are like wave numbers. Wave numbers cannot be imaginary. अगर E minus V0 रखते हैं ना, K2 becomes imaginary. We will try to avoid that. So if these wave numbers are essentially like this, then यहाँ पर एक negative आ जाएगा. E minus V0 था ना equation, check कर लो. E minus V था, यहाँ पर plus था, तो मैंने V minus E किया है ताकि this particular factor becomes positive. तो यहाँ पर एक negative आ जाएगा. Very simple algebra. Okay. अब देखो. Now something interesting will happen. So if you are keeping K1 and K2 as positive, यहाँ पर negative आ गया. So what will be the solution of this problem, of this equation? The two equations are written over here. I am not wasting time in the class by solving them. So I already wrote this equations, solutions. तो यहाँ पर K1 square आ गया plus के साथ, यहाँ पर K2 square आ गया minus के साथ. Okay, these are all defined over here. So let me just put that these are like equal to by definition. Now the psi1x is this, psi2x is, देखो यहाँ पर I नहीं है क्योंकि यहाँ पर minus है. Okay, this doesn't have a minus sign. This doesn't have an I over here. So what is the meaning of this? It means that this factor, c e to the power of minus k2x, means that as x increases, psi2 decreases. Whereas in this case, e to the power of k2x means as x increases, this part will increase. Okay. Now, funny thing is, if you go on at x equal to infinity, this is x, right? So x को अगर हम plus infinity के तरह लेके जाते हैं, then the probability of finding the electron will always die down. ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता कि जितना दूर जाओगे phenomenon के पास, phenomenon is basically this junction, phenomenon से आप जितना दूर भागोगे वहां पर probability of finding the electron will be higher. That is like physically impossible. That is the reason why psi to infinity is equal to 0. This was one of the questions which was asked to me when I appeared for my PhD interview in IISc Bangalore. I still remember. Okay. Why is it that you are always taking the negative? So those of you who are aspiring to do a PhD, if there is anyone who you can actually understand this clearly. So psi to infinity will become 0. That means the probability of finding the carrier or the free particle very much away from something interesting part in this junction is impossible to be infinity. That's why if psi to infinity is equal to 0, देखो e to the power of minus infinity बन जा रहा है. So by whatever, irrespective of the value of c, this is anyway going to be 0 because e to the power of minus infinity. On the contrary, this is e to the power of plus infinity. That means psi 2 का infinity बन जाएगा. But we know psi to infinity is 0. So that means d has to be 0. Logic समझ में आ रहा है सबको? So your psi 2 expression has to be only c to the power of minus k2x. ये d वाला term e to the power of k2x वाला term रह ही नहीं सकता. So from here itself what we understand is before reaching the barrier, potential barrier, the particle will be like a perfect wave. No issues with that. But after it enters the barrier, enter क्यों कह रहे हैं? Because the particle energy is less than the barrier height. Okay. Yeah, please tell me, Ashok.
Sir, can you please explain that again, like probability of finding in a particle at the infinity?
Yeah. I'll explain with this. So here there is no issue. Plus ik1x, this direction b e to the power of minus ik1x. This is already dealt with in our previous lectures. In the region, this is region 1. Region 2 में अगर आप देखोगे, until the particle reaches here, now the question is whether the particle will basically go up like that or it will come down like this. Okay, not like this basically. Either it will go up like that or come down like this. Okay. So this is essentially going to be like e to the power of minus k2x वाला term, c. और ये वाला क्या होगा? d e to the power of plus k2x. This was a combination of plus and minus. However, there was an I over here. That means it is only the phase term. आपका amplitude same रहेगा. So basically, the probability of finding the electron here and the probability of finding the electron here are the same because it is a wave. However, in this case, it is not an I. That means your amplitude is increasing, and in this case, amplitude is decreasing. समझ में आ रहा है? तो अगर हम ये वाला भी मान के चलते हैं कि अच्छा, okay, this is also possible. Then what does it mean? As we go on and on to x equal to infinity, I mean, it will extend the screen of this paper. Okay, एक काम करते हैं, इसको नीचे करते हैं. Okay, at infinity, this will be essentially meaning that you are going to have an infinite probability of finding that electron at x equal to infinity. यानी कि if there is one quantum mechanical tunneling going on in my laptop here in Hyderabad, wherever is Ashok, I don't know where Ashok stays, probably in Himachal. In Himachal, he will have enormous amount of current shock because the electrons are moving from here to Himachal Pradesh with higher possibility of. So this is absurd, right? Every one of you are laughing right now, I'm sure. So this is absurd. So this part is not possible because plus k2x implies that d e to the power of plus k2 infinity is equal to infinity. So the probability of finding the electron at infinity will be much, much larger. It is not possible physically. What is possible on the other hand is this is possible. That means as x is equal to infinity, the probability of the phenomenon can always die down to zero. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है सबको? अशोक?
Yes, sir. So it is not certain. At any place we can find the electron, like
Exactly.
that with that infinity. Yeah.
Yes, yes. If it is infinity, means it will be infinite probability of finding that electron. It's not possible. What is possible, on the other hand, is that phenomenon, the observation, what you observe from the phenomenon will die out. For example, दूर से आप एक बत्ती देख रहे हो. For example, let us say, let us take the typical example all of us have encountered. One car is basically blowing a horn and going on a road, and you are standing. What will you listen? You will actually hear, that is called the Doppler effect, right? That means you will gradually find that the sound will essentially die out. There is a change in the frequency, that is Doppler effect. We will not go into that part, but at least the intensity of the sound, loudness, will essentially reduce, है ना? जैसे कि another thing, like one plane is going out, so आप दूर से देखोगे कि, I mean, that phenomenon of observation will essentially die out with distance. That is what we see in nature. That is not possible with this kind of a scenario. Okay, now comes a very, very important part for you to understand. I'll come to this math in a minute, but physically आप देखो. Now, the rate at which this phenomenon decreases essentially depends on the value of K2, isn't it? सोचो, तो एक चीज हमें पता चल गया है. नहीं, ध्यान से समझना इस बात को. Don't worry, these equations you will understand anyway. Psi2 is equal to, हमें क्या पता चला है? Like D is 0, so Psi2 is only this. So Psi2 is equal to e to the power of minus K2x. Simple. Okay. Now, let us understand this scenario first. It is like this. The particle is coming and bombarding at this part. Since the D part is not here, it will always be monotonically decreasing. Like this. Okay. Then what does it imply? That there are two factors coming into the picture. How long does it take, or how much further away should it take for this phenomenon to be observable? So just understand what I'm trying to tell you. If you are making an observation from here, ये आपका आँख है, you are looking at this point, you will find a certain probability of finding that electron. Nice, सही है. Now, इसको हटा लिया यहाँ तक, you will find the same probability of finding that electron because it is basically a wave. That means your amplitude is not changing. Nice. अब इसको अगर यहाँ पर लेके आओगे, आप क्या देखोगे? Can anybody tell clearly? The amplitude of this wave is now c, which is actually lower than the original amplitude of that particle. So if you are looking at inside the barrier, the probability of finding the electron is reduced. ठीक है? Then यहाँ पर देखोगे, it will be even less because you can see the amplitude is even lower. यहाँ पर क्या देखोगे आप लोग? What will you see?
Zero.
Zero. So that means you will not even recognize that something interesting is happening over here. So that means a person who is looking at this distance away, he will not even realize that anything quantum mechanical tunneling and वगैरह कुछ हो भी रहा है. What he will understand is that, अच्छा यहाँ पर तो हमने, so let us say, when the person was observing here, he will say, अच्छा यहाँ पर electrons है, यहाँ पर electrons है ही नहीं. ठीक है? So this situation is something similar to throwing a ball. अब मान लो हमने यहाँ पर एक बॉल फेंके हैं. This is अब now you can connect the dots. एक बॉल अगर हम फेंकते हैं ना दीवार पे, then a person who is in the other end of the wall, वो क्या दिखेगा? बॉल दिखेगा क्या? नहीं दिखेगा. It's impossible. Why? because there is no probability, not a single phenomenon. वो हाँ एक डुब करके एक आवाज सुन सकता है because your next door friend has thrown a ball on the wall and you will hear the sound. That's it. आपको ball नहीं दिखेगा. Yes or no? So now notice the situation. Instead of the ball, if it is an electron is ball के जगह आप electron फेंके हो, क्या होगा? The friend who is on the other end of the wall will not be able to observe an electron if he is staying farther away from the wall. ये है wall. However, if your friend happens to be here, उसको इलेक्ट्रॉन दिखाई देगा, कम दिखाई देगा पर दिखाई देगा, ठीक है? सो द बॉटम लाइन इज, जो मैं अभी इतना देर तक समझाया, इसका समरी ये है, whether if you want to observe a quantum mechanical phenomenon, it is a matter of whether you are able to observe those the dimensions, whether you are able to observe the phenomenon in the dimensions which are associated with quantum mechanics. यानी कि ये बहुत बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. So this part, okay, this is probably, let us say, a width. Tunneling width वगैरह हम बाद में देखेंगे, but as of now let us say a width W मान लेते हैं, that is better. एक W है, width है. So beyond that width, if you observe the phenomenon, you will not even realize कि कुछ भी हुआ था यहाँ पर. Getting me, everybody? So if you want to observe कि अच्छा कुछ quantum mechanics का कुछ हो रहा है, कुछ चल रहा है, that will essentially depend on whether you are able to observe the phenomenon within this W. So that means if this is x equal to 0, okay, and if this is your x, so x should be less than W to observe anything interesting. I'll just put it in plain English terms, anything interesting. Plain in English में बताएंगे तो anything interesting. X has to be less than W to observe anything interesting. If x is greater than, so अगर आपका here x is greater than W, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कुछ यहाँ पर कुछ हुआ है. समझ में आ रहा है? Now the problem with, जैसे कि मैंने initially मैंने बताया था ना, like range of forces, fields, बहुत कुछ बताए थे, कुछ ऊपर से गया था. Now you can relate. This W is in the order of nanometers. In fact, this is what I am not telling you this. जब आप experiment करोगे, modeling experiment करोगे ना, you will yourself find this out. So if this is happening in the order of nanometers, अब बताओ, how much distance can you see with your naked eye? So that is called the least count. Least count is what? That is the minimum distance which can be measured using an apparatus. So if we think about our eyes as an apparatus, okay, then what is the least count of human eye? कितना हो सकता है? नहीं, no. Technically speaking, कितना least count, मतलब the minimum distance which you can see with your eyes, in the order of 0.1 millimeter. Okay, जैसे कि, I mean, the smallest thing which you can see, a speck of dust, is in this order. So what is this order equivalent to? कितना होगा? Exactly, very good, 100 micrometer. और ये क्वांटम फिनोमेना किस ऑर्डर पे हो रहा है? And what is this 100 micrometer? Can you understand this? So now we realize that why it is simply impossible for us to observe anything interesting in quantum mechanics using our eyes or this. So that means what? Again, coming back to the same thing which I told you earlier, that the reality what we see around us is defined by our sense of perception, by our senses. Correct? आप किससे देखोगे? आंखों से देखोगे, छूकर देखोगे. Correct? So in our senses, we cannot even go into this. But in modern technology, we have got certain methods like scanning electron microscopy, scanning tunneling microscopy. Okay, probably in IC fabrication, Parikshit sir will essentially teach you many of those techniques. So in those cases, we are essentially being able to look into the quantum phenomena also. Got it, everybody? So
Yes,
that means now we will get back to our math part. So with that physical understanding, you can understand the meaning of this particular expression. So now this extension, what we saw, this W is extending in the order of nanometers, that essentially depends on two things. एक तो है C का value क्या है, the original. So if you put X को 0 बिठाओगे ना, तो at this point, the amplitude is how much? C. At X equal to 0. Yes or no? ये यहाँ पर 0 बिठाओ. Then gradually from C, it will essentially reduce to 0. Understood. Now, so if C is very high, then basically this will extend from nanometer से micrometer हो सकता है. Other factor is K2. K2 जितना कम होगा, understand this very carefully. K2 जितना कम होगा, ये उतना ज्यादा तक दूर जाएगा, है ना? ये this is a minus K2x. Yes or no? तो यानी कि so keeping C as constant, you can have 5K2 or you can have C is equal to minus 2K2. So अगर sorry, यहाँ पर K2 का ही expression दे रहे हैं ना, तो let's do like this. So here K2 is equal to 2. Here K2 is equal to 5. समझो इस बात को. तो यानी कि अगर K2 अगर ज्यादा है, तो यहाँ पर माइनस ज्यादा हो जाएगा, right? So that means when x is equal to 2, you are going to have c to the power of minus 10. यहाँ पर c e to the power minus 10 होने के लिए x का वैल्यू क्या होगा? 5 होना है. यहाँ पर c e to the power of minus 10 इतना कम होने के लिए x का वैल्यू कितना होना है? सिर्फ 2. Okay, so that means larger the value of K2, what will happen? This dying down phenomena will essentially be shorter and shorter. Understood, everybody? यानी कि अगर आप K2 जितना बढ़ाओगे, ये psi2 उतना कम होता जाएगा. Getting me, everyone? Of course, C जितना कम करोगे, psi2 भी उतना कम हो जाएगा. Okay? हाँ, please, Sohail.
So can be a negative value of K2.
हाँ, negative value of K2 अगर करते हैं ना, here the way we have defined V0 is greater than E, because in this we are essentially talking about a barrier. Barrier मतलब the potential of the barrier is larger than E. That is the basic definition of the problem. Okay, the one which you are telling, negative K2, that is essentially the topic of our next lecture. Smaller rectangular potential barrier where the energy is larger than K2. We will be having different kind of understanding over there. ठीक है? So K2 cannot be negative. क्योंकि V0 minus E है, वहां पर root भी है ना. So basically, if V0 is smaller than E, you will finally get an imaginary value of K2, but it will not be negative. ठीक है ना? Good. So in this course, देखो, many of the phenomenon you are able to connect the dots. Throughout this entire course, you will be able to understand, अच्छा, हमने ये भी पढ़े थे. But in this course, since it is a modeling course, पूरा mathematical rigor से आप समझोगे सब कुछ. ऐसे समझोगे लाइफ में कभी गलती नहीं होगी. अच्छा, now let us understand this. So if see this part we have understood. Now comes a major important part. What we understood is that as K2 increases here, psi2 decreases. यानी कि अब K2 का वैल्यू क्या है? ये वाला ना. I'll do one thing. मैं कामचोर आदमी हूं. Instead of this, I'll just copy paste. Okay, right. So this is, I have just copy pasted that equation from our previous lecture. Okay, there is nothing new. So अगर this is K2, मैंने क्या कहा? K2 जितना बढ़ेगा, psi2 उतना कम होगा. करेक्ट. नाउ K2 बढ़ने का क्या क्या चांसेस है?
Higher the barrier, more will be.
सॉरी
Higher the barrier, more will be the.
एग्जैक्टली, यानी कि V नॉट जितना बड़ा होगा, सो दैट मीन्स एज VO becomes more and more larger than E, K2 becomes larger, Psi2 becomes lower. So now comes the fact that मान लो this is a situation now. And the particle is somewhere here. Okay, this is your X direction. What will happen? The carrier will die down like here itself. But the electron, which is very much close to the upper value, it will take a very much longer distance for it to appear. So the distance from the barrier where the phenomenon can be observed, जो मैंने बताया ये वाला, ठीक है, this W will increase with two things. Number one, the value of C over here. यहाँ पर value of C is also less. At the same time, how much larger this is V naught, this is your value of E, है ना? How much larger this V naught is with respect to E? यहाँ पर कितना था? Only this. Okay, so what it means is essentially implying that in the limit, V naught tends to infinity. What will be the value of K2? Infinity, right? V naught is infinity, K2 will be infinity. In that case, what will be the value of Psi2? I'll just copy from here. It's evident, like all of you know the answer, but still I will write it here just to explain. What will be the situation? If I'll again put a limit here, limit V naught tends to infinity, K2 will be infinity. So K2 अगर infinity है, irrespective of the value of X, what will be the value of Psi2?
0.
That means if there are two things which we have learned from this thought experiment or mathematical model. Number one, if we go larger and larger distances away from the junction या फिर interesting phenomena, whatever, जितना दूर जाओगे, you will not even have the idea of anything happening interesting. So that depends on the W value. And second thing is that larger the barrier, okay, you will also not be able to observe because this W part will essentially reduce. Okay? Now, let's talk about, again, we are all engineers, right? We prefer to think in terms of numbers. In practice, atomic structures and all that, this value of energy in the ground state and all that, very low values of energy, very less. Later on, you will understand, we will come into work function and all that. The work function will be 4 electron volt, 4.53 electron volt, 5 electron volt, something like that, isn't it? So that means this barrier is much, much larger compared to the energy of the electron inside its orbits. Okay. So what does it imply? You will not be able to appreciate or even understand or even realize anything interesting is going on inside the atom. Understood? Why? Because this energy gap, V naught minus E, is very large. Effectively meaning that it is as if like an infinite potential barrier which you are able to see from the perspective of an electron. So as a human being, which is around 2 meters, okay, 5.5 feet tall person, आप कुछ दिखोगे ही नहीं, क्योंकि this, first of all, this W is in micrometer. Second thing, this potential barrier is also huge. आपके लिए नहीं, इलेक्ट्रॉन के लिए, ठीक है? So this phenomenon will reduce within the small span. वो W नैनोमीटर क्या, ये एंगस्ट्रॉम हो जाएगा, एंगस्ट्रॉम से भी कम, फेम्टोमीटर्स हो जाएगा. Effectively meaning that if V naught is infinity, the probability of finding the electron inside the barrier is 0. समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ? So the situation basically boils down to what? क्लासिकल फिजिक्स, कि आपने बॉल फेंका दीवार पे, एक बाउंस का एक आवाज ही आएंगे बस, और कुछ नहीं, इट विल रिबाउंड बैक. हियर आल्सो इट इज द सेम थिंग. Understood everybody? Huh? So it essentially depends on how thick the wall is. ठीक है, क्लासिकल फिजिक्स में आपने बॉल फेंका, लेकिन वो जो दीवार है ना, वो कागज का दीवार है, क्या होगा? वो कागज का दीवार तो मतलब फाड़ के अंदर चला जाएगा, है ना? हिंदी मूवीज में दिखाते हैं, हीरो एक घूंसा मारता है, हीरो एकदम मतलब विलेन जो है वो दीवार फाड़ के निकल जाता है. ठीक है, दैट इज ऑल फनी मूवीज, बट एनीवेज, बट दैट इज हाउ रजनीकांत वर्क्स, रजनीकांत मूवीज वर्क. ओके, but so that can happen if those walls are very very, like, of course ये बॉल के बदले में अगर आपने एक क्या कहते हैं, कैनन बॉल फेंका होगा, then basically of course दीवार दीवार से टूट के अंदर चला जाएगा. Yes or no? Think about Bahubali. So now let us understand the situation here. But if the wall is very thick, made of granite and all that, not bricks, then I mean, it can do some resistance, it will show some resistance. Like the same thing happening over here in the quantum world. If the energy of the particle, if the energy of the barrier is very high, it will become opaque. There is no possibility that the cannonball can get inside. तोड़ के निकलने का कोई chance ही नहीं है. It will get rebounded. समझ में आ रहा है? हाँ, एक पेपर का वॉल है, पार्टीशन है, आपने जोर से एक ड्यूस बॉल फेंका, वो फाड़ के निकल जाएगा. बट उसी पेपर वॉल के बदले में एक कंक्रीट का वॉल डाल दो, it can make one mark on the wall, that's it. It will again rebound back. Yes or no? It's the same thing happening here. Okay, so that means the classical world which we see is exactly happening the same way in the quantum world also. The only difference is we do not perceive it as a reality because of our senses. Instead of being human beings, if we were electrons, we will be able to see this with our own eyes. Okay. Now let's finish this topic with the help of some mathematics here. So now what we will do is we will use the boundary conditions at x equal to 0. So we will essentially end up with these relations. Okay. Why are these equal to 0? Psi1 0 and psi2 0. Because of two fundamental concepts in nature. One is called continuity. एक तो है continuity of the wave function, यानी कि suddenly ऐसा नहीं हो सकता कि यहाँ पर एक है और wave function कहीं और से शुरू हो रहा है. No, it has to be the same at this point. That is what I have written. And the second thing which you will know is this: the derivative with respect to x is also, so that means the slope is also this. In fact, this is kind of a subtle concept called flux. Okay. So we will deal with flux sometime later. Flux, you have already heard about it in electromagnetics in your BTech, I'm sure. Okay, flux lines of force and all that. So that means this is the continuity of the wave function. So let me just write it so that you can study it later. This is basically the continuity of wave function at the interesting point, that is the junction x equal to 0. अब यहां पर क्या है? Continuity of flux. That means the rate at which the particles are able to move at this particular junction. ठीक है? They have to be equal. वहां से ही हमने यहाँ पर x के बदले में 0 बिठाया है, then you get this relation. As simple as that. Okay. D क्यों नहीं है? Because we have already proven that D has to be 0 mathematically. Continuity of flux निकाल के हमारा मतलब derivative करेंगे, उसके बाद 0 बिठाएंगे, you get this relation. Cool. Just do the algebra. Okay. You end up in basically getting these two relations, C by A and B by A. Now comes a very important part. देखो, B by A को अगर हम देखेंगे ना, इसका magnitude जो है ना, what is the magnitude of this? Magnitude is 1. What is the B by A ratio का? magnitude is 1. Remember your complex algebra. Now, what is the phase of this complex number? Is given by e to the power of minus 2i delta. I है इसलिए phase है, minus 2 delta is the phase. Okay. Delta क्या है? I have written this, tan inverse k2 by k1. This is just complex algebra, nothing else. फिर c by a हमने निकाले हैं, c by a is given by this. अच्छा, आप लोग सोचोगे सर ये सब मगजमारी क्यों कर रहे हैं? Why are we wasting our time? Basically, c by a and b by a, these two things will essentially give us the idea of the current which we'll be getting on the two ends of this barrier. देखो, remember we are all electronics engineers. If I teach you next semester, if I teach you advanced VLSI design, I'll be going deep into circuit designs over there. Okay, circuits which are working in your smartphones, that kind of circuits. So in those cases we have to think about currents, right? तो currents के लिए हमने क्या कहा था? ये S वाला फैक्टर था ना, याद है? ये probability current density. So वही हम यहाँ पर लगाएंगे. Okay, that is the probability current density. वो a square h cross k1 by m. That means the incident radiation के लिए. देखो यहाँ पर incident radiation कौन सा था? Incident wave a e to the power of plus I k1x. ये था incident. Incident मतलब the wave which is incident on that junction. ठीक है? B क्या था? Which is reflected from that junction. C क्या था? Which is transmitted from that junction. So I am just trying to find out the currents because of that. So incident के लिए क्या होगा? वो a square रहेगा because a is the amplitude of that incident wave. है कि नहीं? तो a square और h cross k1 by m, क्योंकि देखो ये this is in the region 1. A and B are in region 1. तो यहाँ पर k1 रहेंगे. Reflected wave का क्या रहेगा? B square because it was B was the amplitude and it was k1. So it will be this. Transmitted wave, ST means transmitted wave का probability current density will be C square h cross k2 by m because transmitted wave कहाँ है? In region 2. वहाँ पर k2 है, not k1. Do not make this mistake. Some of your seniors used to make the mistake previous year. Okay. तो यहाँ से हमें क्या मिल रहा है? Reflectivity is one of the important parameters. SR by SI. SR by SI करेंगे तो यहाँ पर B by A whole square आता है. Transmission probability will be C by A whole square by into K2 by K1. Just from the formulas whichever I have derived. अब देखो, अभी देखो ये B by A वाला और C by A का importance. अगर हम reflectivity देखते हैं ना, B by A का whole square. अब देखो this was mod, right? Mod. Okay. तो अगर हम mod देखेंगे, then basically the amplitude will be 1. ये 1 है. Okay. So now comes the major important thing about quantum mechanics. अब ध्यान से समझना, मजेदार बात. Reflectivity tells that what is the probability that the reflected wave will have the same, what is the probability of finding the electron? देखो. So A and B का reflective coefficient is 1. That means जिस amplitude से bouncing कर रहा है, it will get reflected back with the same amplitude. So यहाँ पर जो स्टोरी हमने बताया था ना, इसका हम मैथमेटिकली प्रूव कर रहे हैं. यानी कि आप यहाँ पर देखो, यहाँ पर देखो, या फिर यहाँ पर देखो. इस रीजन 1 में जहां पर भी देखो, आपका सेम probability मिलेगा. मतलब you will find the same current levels throughout the region. ठीक है? Whereas क्योंकि आपका activity is 1. मैथमेटिकली देखो प्रूव कर रहे हैं मॉडल के साथ. ट्रांसमिशन प्रोबेबिलिटी अगर देखेंगे पूरा आते हुए, this will essentially become 0 as k2 becomes larger than k1, e not greater than e. पूरा मैथमेटिक्स से हम प्रूव किए. That is exactly what we told over here. As VO becomes greater than E, K2 becomes much increased, then the probability of finding the electron on the other side of the barrier is 0. वो हम फिजिक्स से बताए थे, ये मैथमेटिक्स से बता रहे हैं. देखो C by A का वैल्यू ये था. So all I have done is K2 by K1, K1 cancel. Okay, this essentially comes. Yeah, Ashok, tell me.
Sir, if whatever incidented is coming back as reflected, so it's okay here transmission coefficient is 0, but not exactly 0, right? So according to law of conservation of energy, there will be some loss will be there, sir. Is it correct?
Yes. Now comes the thing which I have to tell you. When we will learn about tunneling, I do not think we will essentially go into tunneling in this course. So in quantum mechanics, all the phenomena happen at the same energy level. So ideally speaking, quantum mechanics does not lose any energy. So Ashok, when you said that according to the law of conservation of energy, थोड़ा बहुत तो energy कम होना चाहिए, you are always thinking in terms of classical physics. That means when you are like throwing a ball towards a wall, some amount of energy is lost in the collision. In this case, it doesn't. Quantum mechanics states that the total energy of the system before and after the phenomenon should remain conserved. Okay. Now, how is it conserved? In case of classical physics, you will find that the amount of energy is lost in the ball because of collision. ये loss कहाँ से हो रहा है? That energy is essentially dissipated in that wall. आप देखोगे wall थोड़ा गर्म हो गया. In case of quantum mechanics, we are not thinking about that. What is happening is, although you are essentially finding the same wave rebounding back, there is still a phenomenon, there is a probability that you will find some phenomenon on the other side of the wall also. That is what the magic of quantum mechanics is. That means, even though you might feel that, okay, jitna gaya tha, utna hi wapas aaya hai, rebound karke, reflected wave. No, quantum mechanics states that even though it is like that, still on the other side of the wall, you will find some finite amount of observation will be there. Kuch na kuch aapko dikhega. Okay, Akash, you had a question? This is very confusing because we are always thinking in terms of classical. Akash, tell me.
Sir, the barrier we are talking about, can we say that V naught is equal to E is the condition on the barrier, at the barrier?
V naught is equal to E. Sorry? सुनाई नहीं दिया मुझे. V naught equal to E will not basically. Okay, K2 is equal to 0, you are telling. V naught equal to E means K2 is equal to 0, है ना?
Yes, yes.
हाँ, तो अगर V naught equal to E है तो क्या होगा? मॉडल में बिठाओ. This factor will become 1. So throughout the entire, even if there is no barrier, you will always find the equal probability of finding it everywhere. In fact, that is essentially the same thing which happens if you consider as if there is a barrier here also. However, that barrier is having exactly the same energy as, so VO will be equal to E. That is the reason why you are having the equal probability of finding the electron throughout here. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. So now what we will understand is, here if you notice B by A का एक phase का variation था, C by A में phase भी है, this is e to the power of minus I into twice delta, phase भी है, same phase, plus 1. This 1 is essentially adding one amplitude factor into that phenomenon, correct? So now we have found out even the expression for the wave function. That wave function has been modeled like this. You can go into this in your hostel or in your house. Then you will essentially find out that I have simply used this mathematics and essentially developed the model. So what it means is, Once we have these models, then you will have this kind of a relation. So this is what you have to do it as a part of your laboratory assignment. Okay? So somebody raised a hand. Who was it? Vuna, please tell me.
Yes, sir. Sir, as earlier you have mentioned that the transmitted the through the barrier, when the electron transmits, we have some probability that we can find the electron there.
Yes.
So we can say that the reflected wave also, the reflected part also will be having probability. It must not be 100%.
Yes, because you are thinking that electron is a particle. Think.
Yes, sir.
आप जो सोच रहे हो ना कि इलेक्ट्रॉन अगर यहाँ दिख रहा है, if I can find, let us say, one electron here and here one electron here, okay, and in this case you are seeing the 100 electron, then we cannot see 100 electron is a reflected wave, right? You should see 99 electrons because one electron is lost.
Yes, sir.
The issue is you are thinking it as a particle. Remember, electron here is a wave.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So basically the problem, in fact, Vuna and everyone, like when I started studying quantum mechanics when I was your age or even younger, at that time also I was thinking I was having so much contradictions. And this contradiction aapko jitna aayega na, then you will realize you are understanding quantum mechanics. If somebody says, no, I don't have any confusion with quantum mechanics, that means you have not understand anything. The point that you are having, Vuna is asking a question, like earlier Ashok was asking a question, right? That means you are understanding quantum mechanics for the first time. I could have left this class by simply showing this, okay, this is how the equations are done. Kaam khatam. Aapko kuch samajh mein nahi aata. The real essence of quantum mechanics begins when you start giving the physical explanations of these equations. Equation to aap mathematics se karoge, usme kaun si badi baat? Okay, so modeling is not just developing some mathematical equation. It's about giving the physical significance of the models developed. Try to understand this. Okay? So अगर हमें कोई mathematical model हम develop करते हैं ना इस course में, circuits modeling भी होता है, ऐसा कोई course नहीं है, but anyway in my research I am doing circuit modeling also. So whenever you are developing a model, that is a mathematical model. Now, the physical interpretation of those models is basically what makes you understand the devices, phenomenon much better. Okay. Prudviraj, yeah, you had a question. Hello?
Hello, sir. Like, we were taking ball analogy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, in the same sense, like, I have one doubt in the sense,
Yeah.
in the ball analogy, like, the ball exerts reverse force. My question is, what is making the electron go back? It's, I think, out of the scope of the discussion.
No. Why? It is perfectly in scope of the discussion.
No,
Notice.
we were basically talking about the probability of finding, but I wanted to know why the backs it will go back is the question. You understood?
So, yeah. See, if it is going in one direction, like a to the power of e to the power of I k1x, this is a progressive wave. Okay? Once it comes and progresses over here, and then this b e to the power of minus I k1x, that is also a progressive wave in the reverse direction. Okay. Later on, we will understand something very interesting phenomena. That's called a potential well. That is a typical problem which you will find in the textbook. So the way I have drawn this, so basically I drew it like this, isn't it? So it is progressing in the x direction. The reverse will also happen. वो red से मैं draw कर रहा हूँ. So this is the reverse. तो reverse जा रहा है e to the power of minus I k1x. इस तरफ से जा रहा है a e to the power of plus I k1x. ठीक है? When they will superpose such that the nodes are the same at the border, then what will happen? This is not a progressive wave anymore. The combination of this red and blue is called a stationary wave. है ना? We have all seen that in waveguides, for example. In electromagnetics, we have seen this. Okay, so this is possible when this barrier is infinity. Taki, there is no loss of carriers over here. As we have seen, if V0 is infinity, what will happen? There is no possibility over here I have drawn. There is no possibility for the electrons to pass through. That's why it is called opaque. Yani ki it will essentially be stagnant over here. I mean, it will be, there will be a node over here. Correct? So, the problem which we are seeing in today's lecture is that this is absent. It's only one barrier. After one or two lectures, I'll just add the second barrier over here. Then we will get infinite potential well barrier. This is a typical problem which we see in the textbooks.
Like in the sense, like if the energy barrier is nothing but like acting opposite force type. Can we take
Yeah. But again, when you are thinking about exerting a force, the force of restitution, actually, technically speaking, it's called the force of restitution. The force of restitution is basically the force which makes the ball rebound for the elasticity. So now I'll just open the queue. So many people are asking questions. Very good, actually. So what will happen over here is that here we are not having any coefficient of restitution. That means the wall is sending one equal and opposite reaction. No, that reaction thing will come in classical physics because, okay, the ball is a particle. Hamesha yaad rakhna. Here we are speaking about a wave. Okay. So that is the wave particle duality which we think about. So we are considering like this is possible because it is a wave. Right? Excellent. Sriya.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a very small doubt, sir, because this is the first time I'm coming across device physics and quantum physics. Sir, what are we exactly heading to, sir? Like,
yes. That's a very, very good question. Somebody should have asked it earlier only.
Yeah.
So, one practical application of this. Whenever we say MOS, metal oxide semiconductor, okay? Now, when we say that, okay, kuch voltage वगैरह लगा दिए हैं, so this is the metal, so I have applied one VG volt over here, and the electrons will come and basically create one channel. Awesome. Now, what is the probability that the electron will basically tunnel through this oxide and essentially reach here? Device breakdown होता है ना?
Yes.
जब आप next semester जब circuit design करोगे, IC design करोगे, I will tell you, okay, this oxide layer should not be less than, say, 3 nanometers for this particular technology node. Something I'll tell. Over there, then you will be able to realize, अच्छा, 3 nanometers से अगर कम करेंगे, ये 3 nanometer क्या है जानते हो? This is the W which we were talking about. This is the W we are talking about. So, if you want to make this as a barrier, ये potential barrier कहाँ से आ गया ये oxide में? Somebody? बोलो.
Wave function.
What? नहीं. सोचो. This is the work function. Okay, this is the phi metal.
Potential of different particles.
Exactly. Now you are getting in the point. तो oxide region में आपका ये Eg जो है ये काफी ज्यादा रहेगा. सिलिकॉन का कम रहेगा band gap. This is the band gap of silicon. This is the band gap of the oxide. Okay, metal का कोई band gap है ही नहीं. We will look into that why later. Statistical mechanics में. Okay. So now, what is the barrier you will see over here? This is the band offset. So Eg of the oxide, so I'll just put here EgOx minus EgSi. Of course, this is not the same. So take it with a pinch of salt. I shouldn't write it also, because this is not at the same level. So there are certain expressions. So this is basically the band offset. So let me just call it as band offset. Okay? Everybody with me? So I am telling you, एकदम जैसे who asked the Sriya, right? Sriya asked $1 million question. You should ask this at the very beginning of anything I teach. What is the अच्छा ये क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग? ये जो bond offset है ना, ये क्या है यहाँ पर? Energy है, energy in electron volts. So this band offset defines this thing, this variation जो मैंने बताया था, this one. ये हो गया आपका band offset between the oxide and the silicon. ठीक है? तो यानी कि band offset जितना ज्यादा होगा, ये टनलिंग उतना ओपेक होगा। ठीक है, मान लो हमने एक सिलिकॉन और ऑक्साइड के बदले में एक ऐसा मटेरियल कॉम्बिनेशन लिए जिसका बैंड ऑफसेट इज वेरी वेरी लो, then what will happen? Can anyone tell? When you have applied the sorry
requires less energy to pass.
It will penetrate.
yes, it will require less energy to pass. So that means VG तो आप जब अप्लाई करोगे ना, the electrons which have come to the, this is oxide semiconductor interface, so ये channel हुआ है, these electrons will simply, this is your W then, because this band offset barrier is lower. So that means there is a finite probability that the electrons will simply tunnel through the oxide. What is this phenomenon called? हाँ, टनलिंग तो क्वांटम मैकेनिक्स वाले लोग बताएंगे, हम डिवाइस वाले लोग, सर्किट्स वाले लोग, VLSI वाले लोग बोलेंगे ऑक्साइड ब्रेकडाउन, और एल्स इवन बेटर डिवाइस ब्रेकडाउन। हम कहते हैं ना डिवाइस जल गया
Similar
है,
phenomena in avalanche breakdown also similar.
avalanche breakdown is basically slightly different. Over there, avalanching is a phenomenon where number of carriers increase. Other than that, of course, this is a breakdown only. Okay, this is a direct gate tunneling, or in other words, device breakdown हो जाएगा. So when we will be learning, Shriya,
Yes, sir.
when we will be learning this IC designs and the actual MOSFETs, then you can relate what should be the minimum oxide thickness such that this oxide breakdown will not occur. And then what should be the material, choice of the material. ये तो silicon मान लिया, ये ऑक्साइड हम जो चेंज करेंगे ना, ये ऑक्साइड हम हैफनियम ऑक्साइड ही क्यों लेते हैं? इन मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजी वी यूज हैफनियम ऑक्साइड, इन ओल्डर टेक्नोलॉजी वी यूज टू यूज SiO2. SiO2 days are gone. So hafnium oxide जो हम ऑक्साइड ले रहे हैं ना, why are we choosing hafnium oxide? There are so many oxides, right? Basically you take the entire periodic table, put it into a furnace, every element in the periodic table will create one oxide. Yes or no? So now the point is that why suddenly specific oxide regions, specific oxide materials we will choose as the oxide dielectric? Because of this band offset. This band offset will basically determine whether it is like this, or with let us say the green color, it is like this. So the electrons will not be able to reach the gate. So मतलब ये tunneling हो ही नहीं सकता. Okay. So this is just one example, Shia, just to answer your question. So this is, for example, heterostructures, LED, lasers. These are all quantum mechanical devices. In my own research group, we are working with something called gate overlap tunnel field effect transistors. In our research group, we have started working on memristors. That is, there is also some interesting phenomenon going on. Whether it is tunneling or not, we don't know yet. We have to study it more. So all the modern devices, whatever you find, memristor is one of them, tunnel FET is one of them. They are all employing these quantum mechanical phenomena. Okay. Now, this is basically one of the aspects for the reliability of the device, where you can directly relate to whatever we have done today itself. Okay, na, Chia?
Yes, sir.
Whereas later on, I don't want to kind of frighten you right now. The combination of whatever we are doing, this is the infinite potential well, which I have just explained a little bit. Okay, we will do it within a couple of classes, probably next class itself. Later on, we will culminate into this kind of thing. Application of Schrodinger equation number 5, fifth application, in a periodic infinite potential well. This is also some model which you have to develop as a part of your laboratory. Then all the analysis I have done, if you're interested, you can go through it. Then finally, you will end up in the band structure of the materials. Then from here, this quantum mechanics solution, this is again quantum mechanics, if you notice. I started out with the basic Schrodinger equation and finally ended up with the bands inside a solid. तो यहाँ से आपको पता चलेगा कि कंडक्शन बैंड क्यों आ रहा है. सडनली हम ये क्यों कह रहे हैं कि सिलिकॉन के लिए 1.12 इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट बैंड गैप है. What is the definition of band gap? This white is the band gap. Yellows are the possible band. तो यानी कि this 4 से 6 तक probably it is a conduction band. 2 to let us say 3.5 तक is the valence band. We will learn about this as we go along. So basically quantum mechanics हम क्यों सीख रहे हैं? One of the things is basically reliability issues, which is a simple example which I told you. Many examples are there. But my fundamental objective of quantum mechanics, whatever we are doing, is to reach out into this, so that you understand, you appreciate that the entire existence of solid state, silicon का जो solid state material है, if somebody asks you in the interview panel, so why is germanium band gap is 0.67 electron volt, whereas silicon is 1.124 electron volt? Why is germanium band gap lesser than silicon? Why?
So
you will not be able. Tell me.
Yeah, that is what we will be learning in this.
Yes. In the interview, somebody can ask, anybody can ask, and I can believe you. If I ask this question to many of the faculties, they will not be able to answer. Quite honestly. Okay, many of the industry people don't know. But if you are into industrial R&D, if you are into, like I was in Synopsys R&D for some time. Okay, so I have worked in the industrial R&D. In fact, after my PhD, my first job was in IBM SRDC, Semiconductor Research and Development Center in Bangalore. So that was my first job. I quit that job and I joined the God Particle Experiment in Switzerland. So I have been into industry myself. So if you are looking into that level, okay, there you have to be very clear. So जैसे हम मान लेते हैं ना कि जो हम metal oxide semiconductor की बात कर रहे थे, like when we were talking about the metal semiconductors and all that, MOS, what metal will you choose? 70% of the elements in the periodic table are metals. Okay. Let me show you, then it will become clear. Where is it? Calcium, yeah. Excellent. This is the periodic table. Okay, these are all metals. Which one will you choose as the gate material?
So catalytic metals.
Sorry?
Maybe any of the catalytic metals. Not sure of this.
So the point is that will become clear when you do my classes.
Okay.
Okay, which material will you choose? If you have to make one N MOSFET, what metal will you choose? If you want to make a P MOSFET, which metal will you choose? Why will you even go for polysilicon? In modern technology, when you are using HFO2 instead of SiO2, अगर hafnium use कर रहे हो, तब हम polysilicon use नहीं करते हैं. Then we use copper. Here it is. Okay, so this is the periodic table. Why are we using silicon? Okay, why are we using? So I will not go into much details over here because material science is a whole ocean in itself. I am just teaching the quantum mechanics and solid state, which is just barely minimum for you to answer the questions which you might be asked in the interview. That's it. Believe me, if you are going for a PhD or something, then it will be even more rigorous. I can take one whole course on material science only. Okay, but this is not that course. Okay, this is only about microelectronic devices. So I will restrict myself only into that domain. In fact, bringing into this, so this is the end of the quantum mechanics. देखो, सिर्फ solid state बता दिया. ये जो I have created this, basically I wrote it down during my spare time earlier. So so we are here as of now. Okay, free particle हो गया, larger rectangular potential barrier हो गया. This will not take much time. Okay, and after that we will go to the infinite rectangular potential well. So that will be like one class. Then finite potential well problem becomes an important thing, because anything, when you make an LED or laser is nothing other than this. Lasers, optical lasers, okay? Lasers and LEDs, heterostructures, they are exactly this kind of a structure. So this is a direct one-to-one correspondence with an actual device. So if you are working for Intel and you want to make one laser output or something, then essentially you have to do this. All right. And just after that is basically periodic infinite potential well, which is solid state. That's it. Our quantum mechanics part is over. So it will take maximum next week. By the end of next week, we will go into solid state itself. Okay. Yeah, Ashok.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I have these 3 questions. Like the first
Yeah,
one is
perfect.
the law of conservation of energy.
Just
is
excuse me,
applicable in
Ashok. I will just tell everybody, since all of you are here, whenever you have any questions, now please post it in the classroom. Okay, na?
Okay.
That will also be, now of course I will listen to your question, because if you keep it over there, I will answer it in the classroom itself and everybody else will be able to see that. That will be great. Let us use it as more like a forum. Anybody having any question, just post it. And do not be afraid about asking questions. You know, your questions are the best way you can learn a subject. I am teaching you something that is only one aspect. Okay, very good. Ashok, go on.
So, yes, sir.
Yeah,
The law
Ashok.
of conservation of
Yeah,
energy is
please.
still applicable in quantum theory.
Yeah, this is waves, right? We are not speaking about particles. Law of conservation of energy is essentially valid when we are essentially dealing with like packets of energy. Here it is not packet of an energy, right?
So,
Yeah.
is it related to
Second thing.
Newtonian mechanics or?
No. This is not Newtonian mechanics at all. See, the conservation of energy and all that are Newtonian mechanics or classical mechanics. This is quantum mechanics. It's a completely different perspective of looking at nature.
And,
Right.
and the application number 2, which you said earlier,
Yeah.
can you go through that?
Yes.
There you
I'm
have
very-
created that standing wave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So there is a phase change between incident
Yes.
wave and reflected wave. So
Yes.
is the phase change will result in any energy production or something?
No, phase, remember, phase change is essentially changing e to the power of I theta, right? So this becomes plus minus I theta. So the phase change happens to be like that pi value change is there. It doesn't change the value of the amplitude. Okay. So what happens is, if you are talking about like E, what is the energy? Energy is related by h cross square k square by twice m. That is the dispersion relation I taught today, correct? So in this case, k will have certain limits basically, okay? But we will look into that later, okay? Infinite potential well ke liye. But however, this is the expression. Now, what is this k value? K is essentially related to 2 pi by lambda. Okay, now this lambda is the wavelength of the wave. Okay, so this is a wave number, as I told you. Wave number is 2 pi by lambda. Now this k has got nothing to do with this phase. So if you are talking about the energy, the phase shift doesn't affect the energy at all. Correct, mathematically? Yeah. Ashok, very nice. Any other questions?
Still, yes, still not able to digest that conservation of this energy here in the quantum mechanics.
No. See, in quantum mechanics, no. I'll tell you later on. You will understand if there is a barrier like this. So some particle is going over here. It will arrive on the other edge, other end of the barrier. Remember, quantum mechanics deals with only this aspect. Okay, so if you are looking at the quantum mechanics part, the tunneling between inside the barrier, that doesn't lose energy. So that means conservation of energy is valid in quantum mechanics. But the quantum mechanical phenomena does not involve, this is very important, quantum mechanical phenomena does not involve loss of energy. तो loss of energy कब हो रहा है? Once the particle is here, then it will reduce its energy. In fact, that is what is happening here also. So quantum mechanics essentially tells that if there is a particle which is bombarding here, there is a finite probability that the particle will essentially come here also, but it is at the same energy level. Okay. Then thereafter it will reduce. So if you are finding any decrease in the energy, that happens inside this material, material number 2. Okay, this is material number 1. Quantum mechanics simply tells you that there is a finite probability that the electrons will tunnel. Tunnel kahan ho raha hai? If it is a ball, it will come here and it will get rebounded. It will not enter. Quantum mechanics simply tells you with mathematics and all that it will enter. Now the reduction in the energy, what you are telling, the loss of energy happens inside the material. It doesn't happen in the quantum mechanical barrier. The moment the particle has entered that material, then it is not in the barrier anymore. Electron idhar aa gaya hai na. Then conservation of energy is perfectly valid. Kyunki yahan par it is not a wave. Then it is like an amplitude of the particle. So basically, it will essentially reduce. Then now you can ask Ashok कि अच्छा this was the original energy, right? तो ये वाला energy कहाँ जा रहा है? That essentially gives you phonons. Later on we will understand. And this phonon is the reason for heating up of the particle, of the material, sorry. That is the reason why your laptops become hot when you are using the laptop for some time. Hello Ashok, are you listening?
Yes, yes, sir.
The reason why, if you are watching a movie or if you are watching a long YouTube movie on your smartphone, you will find that smartphone becomes hot. Why? Because of this vibrational energy. Phonons are generated. Inside what? Inside the material. Material में क्यों हो रहा है? Because the electrons are essentially reducing its energy. अब reducing its energy मतलब वो energy जा कहाँ रहा है? It is essentially it is generating the phonons, essentially heating up the material. But then you will say, sir, ये quantum mechanics कहाँ हो रहा है? Quantum mechanics simply tells you that the electrons will tunnel. But it is basically something similar to saying, this is also something which we will tell in later on, N plus a MOSFET. So what is the function of the source? The source will simply generate, there are a lot of electrons here, blue dots. These dots will diffuse and basically get stored over here. Bas, uska source ka kaam khatam. Now, whether these electrons, as I told you, this is something similar to saying that, okay, this is the mod of A square. Jaise humne sikhaya. This is the availability of the carriers. So in case of a MOSFET, there are two things which will determine the current. One is the availability of the free carriers. In case of quantum mechanics, we have been telling this is basically A mod square. This is the availability of free carriers. Now, whether these free carriers will be able to move towards the drain or not is a function of the VDS voltage. Okay? And with that VDS voltage, you are going to add this H cross K by M. So this will give you the probability that these available carriers are able to move. Correct? So drift diffusion we will learn in much more details later. But as of now, you can understand, you can relate the one-to-one correspondence between quantum mechanics and the MOSFET, which you already know. So basically, the source will simply inject the minority carriers on the channel. Kaam khatam, source ka. Now, it is the duty of the drain with this VDS voltage to pull these electrons towards the drain, giving you a certain amount of current. I'll put ID. Usually in literature, this is the direction of the current because this is the direction of the electron. Current is in the opposite direction of the electron. Anyway, that's a different thing altogether. So this will give you the current. Okay, Ashok, are you understanding?
Yes,
so
sir.
similarly, quantum mechanics only tells you the availability that the electrons will be able to tunnel through. That's it. Now, conservation of energy is not happening at the barrier. Conservation of energy is happening inside the material. So as and when the electron is moving more and more towards inside the material, that loss of energy of the electron is getting conserved as creation of phonons. If you make a proper material, ये phonon के बदले में ये photon हो जाएगा. So you have to basically choose that material over here accordingly.
Direct band gap, indirect band gap.
Exactly. Awesome. Very good. So if this is photon, then that is basically giving you a radiation light. Okay, that is basically the physics behind light emitting diode, LED. So the next time you see an LED on your computer screen, on your laptop, you remember whatever I have told you. So that means quantum mechanics has made sure that the electrons are injected, and the loss of energy of the electron is the result of the LED light emission. Okay, we will look into LED in much more details later on in the course. So as far as this quantum mechanics is concerned, the phenomenon over here, that does not involve any loss in energy. Okay? So all the quantum mechanical phenomenon occur at the same energy level, whether it is tunneling, whether it is even the oxide breakdown I was talking about, that will also happen at the same Vg value. Okay.
Yes. So,
Any
and
questions?
whatever we study at the lattice level, is it related to quantum mechanics? Like this
Of
is these are
course.
electrons and all.
100%. See, solid state is a more macroscopic view of the atomic physics. Whatever we are doing is basically atomic physics.
But in lattice that it is kind of more like molecule, right, sir? And electron and nuclear size is
See, look at this. Whatever we are doing right now is a single barrier, right?
Yes.
This one is a single barrier. Once we keep a periodic array of this barrier, you get a solid state.
Lattice structure.
Yes, lattice structure. So before we go into lattice structure, ये थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. As you can see, mathematics is also very involved. So एक दिन पूरा बैठ के मैंने ये पूरा solve किया था. So that, in fact, I was also asking myself, nowhere in the textbooks you will find this entire derivation. Then I thought, okay, I'm going to teach some things to my students. Like if the student asks me, sir, आपने सच में ये किया था क्या? I will say, yes, ये देख लो. I will not ask this in the questions. Don't worry. The question paper will not involve this, but this is only for the sake of completion. So that you can be rest assured that, okay, it is possible to solve it. In the laboratory assignment, you will have to solve this equation numerically so that you can give. In fact, this is the solution of the laboratory assignment. Okay. So numerically, you have to solve this. The model is developed. You have to solve this and generate this energy gap. Then I will ask you certain questions based on this. Okay. So as of now, so the whole objective, as I said, in the solid state, it is just the periodic array of this barrier which we have done today. So यहाँ पर एक barrier है ना? All of you can understand. This is one barrier. देखो, this is one step. Okay. Here in the solid state, 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes up to 2 trillion, 3 trillion, and all that. So it's a periodic array, infinite. So I should highlight it here for your benefit. This is an infinite potential well, periodic infinite potential well. ठीक है? तो अगर हमें सॉलिड स्टेट समझना है, so logically you have to periodic को पहले हटा देते हैं. We'll remove the periodic part. तो infinite potential well समझना है. तो infinite potential well अगर समझना है, तो then you have to first understand the barrier. Infinite potential well हम next class में ही सीखेंगे. This is an infinite potential. In the next class only we will do with infinite potential well. So today we have finished with one barrier. Barrier क्या है? Only one side of it. So this is just one side of the barrier. When we take two barriers, it becomes a well. And when this well, if I multiply it by millions, it will go on and on. You can see this well, right? Then you get one solid state. And from there, with modeling, you will essentially reach out energy bands. Then you will have a clear understanding. अच्छा, ये conduction band मतलब ये है. Valence band means this. Then you will understand, okay, Fermi energy level means this. Okay, your entire, you can literally look through your own eyes. And in fact, this one I have not shown over here. After the, I mean, for example, today after this, I am going to begin with. I have to explain what you have to do as a laboratory assignment. The first assignment will be this one. The answer to this is this one. Okay, so that means whatever we have done today, ये वाला जो हम diagram ऐसे ही draw कर दिए थे ना, so we will get it like this. So this is the boundary, x greater than 0. This is x less than 0. Less than 0 mein you can clearly understand that this is a sinusoidal wave. When x greater than 0, you can see it is, that probability is dropping very, very soon. This is in nanometers. So it is 0.5 nanometer, matlab 5 angstrom. It is even less than a nanometer. मैंने वहाँ पर गलत लिखा था, angstrom unit में होता है. So basically, if you want to understand the quantum phenomena, this has to happen within how much? 0.5, 0.25. This is 0.25, and essentially, if this is 0.5, 0.25, so this is essentially going to reach out to around 1 angstrom only. Okay. So what I'm suggesting is that, so this phenomenon will reach out to at most 1 to 1.5 angstrom itself. Okay. Beyond that, if you are observing at 1 nanometer distance apart, you will not even realize that anything quantum is going on. Okay, you have to generate this through numerical modeling. And then if you come to our classroom, I'll just finish off. It's a big class today. But I really appreciate that all of you are coming up with questions. The more questions you ask, the better scientist you will be, better engineer you will be. Okay, yeah, dekh lo ek baar. Classes. You might have seen this anyway. In the classwork, these are the logistics and all that. So ये रहा आपका assignment 1. Okay. Click on this. You will essentially end up seeing this PDF. Come on. Okay. Shall I stop the recording? Because this is not necessary anymore.